Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be doing my makeup. Get ready with me while we also read Am I the A-hole for whatever they did. So leave your reactions down below if you think they're the A-hole or if they're not. And let's get on with the video. Am I the a-hole for giving my sister-in-law 3 days notice that I will no longer make a cake for her daughter's 3rd birthday after finding out that she and her parents told others my history? Starting with my new Smashbox original photo finish, and honestly, I used it. It was amazing. Definitely recommend. I, 28 female, love to bake, and I will often make cakes and stuff for my friends. And since I met my in-laws in 2018 for them as well. My sister-in-law asked me to bake a cake for her daughter's birthday this weekend. This was back in October, and we still discussed that she wanted in detail, what she wanted in detail. It's not my first time making cakes for her, but it's my first time as her sister-in-law officially, and where I felt like I was truly part of the family. 3 days ago, I was out grocery shopping and I ran into family friends of my in-laws. That person is not someone I like very much. She's a bad gossip and seems to have malice in her while sharing gossip about others. I try to be polite to everyone and normally I don't talk to her, but she stopped me and went out of her way to ask me when my husband and I are having kids. Then I mentioned me being a foster kid and an affair baby, and she did it in a way that was meant to come across actually concerned but was really being intrusive and cruel. She mentioned that my in-laws and sister-in-law were concerned about our kids not having anyone. I told my husband when he got home from work and I was a mess. It might seem dumb, but I felt like his family betrayed the trust I put in them, and they did the one thing they were asked not to do, which was tell people about my history. It's not something I want to broadcast to everyone who knows me. My husband confronted his parents and sister, and they said they only mentioned it to a few close people. And they defended when my husband said that it wasn't okay. My sister-in-law said it's not like people wouldn't find out eventually, and he asked her how they wouldn't find out if we never told them. Okay, that's... Mm, mm. My history is that both of my parents were married and others and had children with their other spouses when they had an affair. I was the result. Both sets of first children were technically adults or close to it when I was born. The day before my 5th birthday, we were in a car together and it crashed. My parents died and so did the people in the other car. I was the only survivor. I was in the hospital for a few weeks after nobody in either of my parents' families wanted me, and I was brought up in foster care the rest of my life. I never found a family. After hearing sister-in-law say what she did and realize how unapologetic they were and hearing how little they cared about what they did to me, I asked if I could speak to my sister-in-law for a sec and told her not to expect a cake from me after going against what I wanted and having such little care for the harm it caused. She went and said it's only 3 days until the birthday party, and my husband backed me up and said, so what? She and their parents were blowing up his phone so bad he had to block them, and I worry that I'm being a bit of an a-hole saying no with such short notice. Am I the a-hole? Girl, you are not the a-hole. What? Okay, so they could have went and like just stayed quiet about your business because it's not even their business. It's your business, and they still went and spoke about it. So not only did they break your trust, they didn't care that they broke your trust. So the only a-hole here is his family. And shout out to him for backing you up because damn, he actually says, "So what?" That's yes, yes. They were disrespectful. You and your husband did the best decision ever. You are not the a-hole because you can still find another person to do a cake. It won't be as specific as in detailed, but it's still a cake. So you are not the a-hole in that situation. Now let's get started with my foundation. What I'm gonna do is more of like conceal and then powdered foundation because honestly, I'm feeling lazy today. Am I the a-hole for snapping at my wife to get out of the room and calling her a brat? Ooh, ooh. Let's not judge a book by its cover, right? Okay. For context, I am 34, male, work as a hospice nurse in my country specifically for children. This job means I this job means a lot to me, but I can get very overwhelmed and hard to function, especially seeing small children suffer. Okay, let me finish this. Okay. My wife, 37 female, is a stay-at-home mother to our kids' 10-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter. After work, I need to spend 30 minutes to 1 hour by myself just to let go of all the negativity and sadness and stress I have. And before you jump to conclusion, after this time to myself, I give my wife a break. I take over the cooking of dinner, making snacks for the kids the next day, help with homework, washing dishes, and any other pending housework. My wife has been slamming into my room. It's just a tiny room with a bed, mini fridge with a Coca-Cola in it, and demanding I take over or do something instead of sulking in my room. It's especially annoying when meditating and someone starts screaming at you nonstop. Okay, I feel that because I feel that. I have talked to her, but she says it's selfish that she takes care of the kids while act like a kid and cry and get drunk over my job. I told her that it's hard for me and that I don't drink and it's emotionally draining, so I don't want to bring that negativity into my family. Understandable. She just started screaming at me, so I snapped to her, just get out because she's acting like a brat. She went silent and is now giving me silent treatment. Am I the asshole? Edit. I have 5 minutes commute because my work provides a bus to take us home in the morning. I walk, but in the night it's too dark, so I take the bus. Edit. I was an alcoholic 13 years ago, but now every time we get in an argument, she always throws it back to my face. Ooh. So she and I were distance friends while I was an alcoholic and got together after a year after me becoming sober. I take my kids to school and make them breakfast, and I also say hi and give them kisses, hugs when I come home. I have explained to them just how they need a nap after school. Daddy needs a little nap before he can come play and help with homework. They understand, and my daughter frequently gives me her sleepy stuffy of the day. I take my wife on date night every Saturday, and she chooses not to go back to a job. And she also isn't that good at the social. I'm sorry. This dude don't know how to spell. She has refused marriage counseling. Ooh. No, honey, you guys need some marriage counseling because that is not going to work for you guys in the long term if she continues bringing up that you were an alcoholic because you guys weren't even together. And it's always understandable to have to need a break after a very draining job, especially if you take the kids in the morning and all she needs to do is take care of them after school. Like, no. You do a lot for being a working dad. You spend time with your kids, you take them to school in the morning. Like, she's the a-hole in this situation. So, yeah. Then we're going to get into the foundation that is powdered. So, let's skip on to that until before I go to the next story. I also don't want that much because, again, going light coverage. But this concealer is very full coverage, so we need a little bit of something. Okay, just to show you, I'm using the Fit Me foundation, powdered foundation, and the Maybe Bobbi Brown porcelain shade concealer. This is one of the best concealers. I have the cream one too. I love the cream one. The cream one's my day to day. This is more of like my not day to day, my going out, my work situations, those kind of things. Okay, I have finished my foundation. Now we're gonna go into another story. I do not think he's the a-hole. They need to go into some marriage counseling or a simple divorce. Next, am I the a-hole for forcing the seller of our house out before her new place was ready? Ooh, okay. I, 25 female, and my husband, 25 male, moved into an apartment in October of 2022. I've been looking for a house in January of 2023. I'm sorry. What? One of my mom's friends, we call her Mary, 60-ish female. I told my mom that she was moving into a condo about an hour away from where her house was, so that she could move closer to her mom. Mary is also mentally disabled from a work accident years ago, but is able to live alone to take care of herself. She asked if we wanted to take a look at the house, and we loved it and said we were interested in moving forward. We agreed on no realtors and to use real estate lawyers. We were also getting a discounted price. At this point, she mentioned that her condo was still under construction with a projected finish date of June. That was okay with us, and we began the process in April. As with most construction projects, there were delays. So we were patient with her, as our original timeframe of going in settlement was moving in June/July. But July passed us by, and I talked to her in August asking if my husband and I moving in October 1st works for the timing of her condo being finished. She said that it would, and I told her that was great and that I would let my landlord know. And we would be breaking our lease. Ooh. I also informed our real estate lawyer and asked him to set the settlement date accordingly. Less than a week later, I received an angry email from my lawyer stating that he was quitting because Mary and I had been making plans behind his back and that he was not aware of. Apparently, she told her lawyer that we agreed on settlement October 25th, which was not what we had discussed. I emailed him back and we resolved the issue, but we were not to contact the owner without him. This is where I feel I might have been the a-hole. My husband and I, along with our lawyer, had an incredibly uncomfortable conversation with her about how she needed to be out by no later than October 13th because our lease was on the 15th. She was crying and saying that she had no one to help her move and that her condo was not completely finished because they did not install safety bars in the shower yet. I explained that we would not have a place to live if she was not out, and that settlement was 2 weeks prior to when we asked her to move out. So She would be living in a house that no longer belongs to her. I also said she has the ability to live with her mother while the bars get installed. I said that I said there are many services available that will pack and move your stuff for you. And she ignored what I said and continued to cry and actually was whimpering and calling for her mommy. I ended the call because I was so uncomfortable. She cried to my mom on the phone about this. I told my mom my side of the story, but she continues to mention that I was being unreasonable and should have allowed her to stay longer. I feel I was patient and accommodating throughout the process. We have been in the house for 2 months, but my parents don't approve of how I handled it. Was I the a-hole? Honey, you were not the a-hole. Um, that was just rude in general of like having to delay the process so much. When at the end she still had to move out after saying that she was going to move out in June too. No. So in my point of view, I believe you are not the a-hole and that she should live with her mom. If she's crying for her mommy, she should live with her mom. Anyways, let's go in with my bronzer, then eyeshadow. Okay, going in with the bronzer. I don't bronze that much, so that's that's all that we're getting for bronzer. We're going in with my eyeshadow. I'm going in very light. I don't want a big outgoing look because at the end I'm wearing green. So, okay. So let's go in. I'm just going to do a natural nude. Going in with Innocent. This is the Tarte Pro palette. It's my go-to. It was a gift for my birthday and I love it. It was a gift 2 years ago. I don't know if it still works, but I use it a lot. And mixing the Innocent with Bold. And putting Vintage and Classic mix on the front. So I could put some shimmer. I am a shimmer girl, so a lot of my looks have shimmer in it. Going in with my Huda Beauty. If I'm correct, this one has gold. Yeah. With my Huda Beauty Galaxy. I do it with my finger because it picks up the gold, sparkle, and all those things better. And put it right there. I love glitter, so if you see it everywhere, it's because I wanted it everywhere. And that's one eye. And let's come back when I finish the other eye. Okay, now that I'm done with my eyeshadow, let's get into another one. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister she'll have to care for her mother alone? Ooh. I'm 16 male and my sister is 15 female. Our dad was married to my mom and he cheated on her while she was pregnant with me. And a few weeks after I was born, knocked up his now wife with my sister. My mom kicked him to the curb and I lived with her mostly and saw my dad every other weekend until I was 6. Then my mom died from complications from her asthma and I had to live with my dad. The reason I said dad is because he was never really like one. Like, yeah, we lived with him for years, but he was never, he has never been an active in mine or my sister's life. Never showed up for anything or spent time with us. His wife was the one, and I hate her. After my mom died, she tried to call herself my mom, tried to insert herself into my mom's funeral planning, and insisting on me not being named as her son in the obituary or anything. She and my grandparents and aunts, uncles fought until they kicked her out. She tried to get Dad to back her up and say she had authority over me, but he did nothing. So I was with my grandparents for a few days, and by the time I returned, she told me she was my mom now and I should have respected her more. I was very disrespectful to her for years. I know I was. I didn't even feel bad about it. I made her life hell, and Dad was never around to do anything. She always made things worse by insisting she was my mom. My sister hated me for treating her mom, though. I'm so sorry. I don't even have my glasses on. I should have my glasses on, but how am I doing my makeup? Okay. For treating her mom the way that I would because she doesn't remember my mom or remember the times when I wasn't always there. She always refused to believe that I do and tells me her mom is my mom in all the ways that matters. She told me it was crazy how I made it seem like my mom did more than hers or that I'm closer to my mom who died before I could remember her. Damn. Before I could remember her. She said that? Ooh, no. When her mom was always there, she told me I should be glad I got to have a bigger family when my mom died. So my sister and I aren't close either. My sister's mom was diagnosed with neurological disease in June. She's already struggling with some stuff and has regular medical appointments. Dad is basically gone all the time now. He has not helped his wife at all and isn't around for us, which isn't new, but also bringing less money home. My sister is upset about her mom and has taken her anger out on me. She's so disrespectful about my mom and has wished she could do stuff to her grave when she really trying to piss me off. But the other day she told me my mom was disgusting and ugly, that she had been a bad wife and mom, and that's why Dad chose her mom. She told me her mom was so much better that I should be grateful for her and doing everything I can. She told me we had to take care of her now. I looked her in the eye and told her she was all alone in taking care of her mom because I hate her mom and would never help. Ooh. But per part, if she's trying to say, I'm your mom, I'm your mom, I'm your mom, no. She got really upset and broke down crying and ran off to her room. Yesterday, she told me that I was such a D and I'm meant to be her brother and I should love her enough to be better and support her. Am I the a-hole? Honestly, I must say you're not the a-hole, but I would say be there a little bit more for your sister because at the end she's your sister. I'm not saying her mom. I'm just saying, like, is that also she said rude things. You know what? No, you're not the a-hole. She's the a-hole. And this is my blush. It's Lovecraft Beauty. It was also a gift for my birthday. It was amazing. But it's from MAC, so yeah. I'm gonna do my mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did my brows and my lashes. I didn't have mascara. I don't know where I put it. I probably didn't bring it with me. I'm at my sister's. So let's do highlight and what else was I missing? Lipstick. But let's start with highlight because, yeah, who doesn't love a highlight? When I find my highlighting brush, okay, I don't find it. So we're going to go with an extra. Okay. Don't judge me for the brush I'm about to use. Okay? I normally don't use this brush. Okay. And now we're just going to go in with the gloss and we are done. Actually, lip lining and gloss. I go in with a cute Jaclyn Hill lip liner as soon as I find it, because now I don't find it. Don't tell me I lost my Jaclyn Hill. Oh, there you are. And with Um, Lifter Gloss. Should I go in with this one? Actually, no. We're going in with the chapstick. Believe me, it works wonders. It works wonders. So, lip line. Take a regular lip line. And then I fill in the border. Make a line in the middle. Fill in the other border. And make a little dash here. Now, do the same in the top. Fill out normal. A dash in the middle. Fill out the corner. Fill out the corner. And another dash. And now, don't focus on what I have right now. I'm going to focus on the outcome because it's literally a trust the process kind of issue. And that is the outcome. And Loki, Loki Heike, I love it. And I know somebody that hates when I say Loki Heike. Actually, my sister hates it. So start commenting Loki Heike and start using it if you can. But definitely comment it Loki Heike. If you've come this far around the video, comment Loki Heike and any flower you like. Any flower. And that is the final result of the makeup. Sadly, I didn't have mascara, so I just curled it. But we're going to finish one more. Am I the a-hole? And end our video with that. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad that my mom's business isn't his business anymore? I'm a 17 male parents divorced when I was born. I never got the full story of from either of them, but my aunt told me it was because my dad missed my birthday because of his ex-girlfriend Mia, who is still in his life. Mia is a spoiled, annoying woman who's unbearable when my father isn't paying attention to her. They aren't dating again, but have been best friends since childhood, so they're still close. Recently, my mom has had more free time because she started going on dates. She asked my dad if I could stay with him on one of her days, and when he came to pick me up, he saw that she was all dressed up. He asked me where she was going, and I told him the truth. He got upset and started asking me more questions, and I got frustrated and told him, "What mom does isn't your business anymore. She's not your wife." He got quiet, and when we went home, he didn't speak to me and just went to sleep. When Mia came over the next morning, he didn't speak to her either, and I don't think he's spoken to her since. I think he told my aunt what happened, and then she told my mom. They've both been saying that what I said was harsh. I mean, I just told them the truth. They've been divorced for years now. Am I the a-hole? Update. So this all happened last week, and I just wanted to know if I was in the wrong. I did not expect to get much attention from it, but thanks for all the support. I read through most of the comments and decided I wanted to talk to both of my parents. I told them I'm not going to be put in the middle of any more situations like this. It makes me uncomfortable, and I love them both equally despite my upbringing. They understood and apologized, especially my dad. I also told him that Mia isn't healthy and that he shouldn't be enabling her. I was shocked to find out that my parents have been talking since the incident last week and decided to try again. My father said he would be going to therapy and he and my mom would do couple counseling. If I'd like to try family therapy, they'd be happy to. They said they both loved each other and realized that after their many attempts at dating. And honestly, at this point, I don't really care. It was 17 years too late, but at least they're trying. Also, Mia doesn't live with my dad. He inherited my grandparents' house and her house is like next door. My aunt is a bit of a gossip, so once I was old enough and started questioning why my parents separated, I knew I'd get her to spill. Also, yes, I'm 17 years old and can stay home by myself. Even if my mother did do whatever she wanted when she came home that night, I would rather not be in the house. Please stop asking. So yeah. So tell me what you think about the final story. Is he the a-hole or not?